Good evening. Welcome to Kenya News Update today. I'm your host. Tonight, we're taking a deep dive into a story that transcends sports, a narrative of strategy, investment, and global soft power. The headline, Mitchell and Harden spark a second-half surge as the Cavaliers beat the Knicks 109-94. But this is more than a basketball score. This is a case study in the economics of modern sport, the geopolitics of celebrity, and what it tells us about global influence in 2026. We'll examine the numbers, the players, and the profound implications for international relations and business. First, let's set the scene. On Tuesday night in Cleveland, Ohio, the Cavaliers secured a decisive 109-94 victory over the New York Knicks. The key drivers were Donovan Mitchell with 23 points and James Harden with 20. Jarrett Allen added a double-double of 19 points and 10 rebounds. For the Knicks, Jalen Brunson scored 20, Mikal Bridges had 18, and Mitchell Robinson dominated the boards with 15 rebounds. This win marked the Cavaliers' 8th victory in their last 9 games, a stunning 88.9% win rate in that stretch. But why does a regular season NBA game in the United States matter on a global news broadcast? The answer lies in the interconnected web of finance, media, and diplomacy. The NBA is a global export, a multi-billion-dollar enterprise watched in over 200 countries. A player like Donovan Mitchell isn't just an athlete, he's a brand ambassador, an economic node. His performance directly impacts merchandise sales, television ratings, and franchise valuation on a worldwide scale. Consider this, the Cavaliers franchise is currently valued at approximately $2.8 billion. A sustained winning streak, powered by stars like Mitchell and Harden, can increase that valuation by hundreds of millions. This isn't just sports money, it's investment capital, pension fund allocations, and sovereign wealth. Now, let's introduce our first key perspective, the economic analyst. From this viewpoint, last night's game is a textbook example of asset performance. The Cavaliers roster is a portfolio. Mitchell and Harden are your high-yield blue-chip stocks. Their combined 43-point output represents a direct return on investment. The team's salary cap for this season is $172.3 million. Mitchell's max contract pays him $42.5 million this year. Harden is on a $38.1 million deal. Last night, they delivered a 27% and a 23% scoring contribution to the team's total points, respectively. But the efficiency metrics are where the real story is told. The Cavaliers shot 48.7% from the field overall. However, in the decisive second half, their offensive rating, a measure of points scored per 100 possessions, skyrocketed to 122.4, compared to the Knicks' 98.6. This 24-point differential per 100 possessions is the statistical embodiment of a surge. It's not just about making shots, it's about maximizing every opportunity, a principle that resonates in any boardroom. Let's visualize that efficiency leap. The Cavaliers' offensive rating in the first half was a respectable 104.7. In the second half, it exploded to 122.4. That's an increase of 17.7 points per 100 possessions. Conversely, the Knicks' defense, which held firm in the first half with a rating of 105.1, collapsed to 121.3 in the second. This 16-point defensive decline created the chasm that decided the game. This statistical story mirrors economic trends, initial stability followed by a disruptive surge that competitors cannot answer. Now we pivot to our second perspective, the geopolitical strategist. Here, names carry weight. Mitchell is not just a surname on a jersey. As our research shows, Mitchell refers to places, people, and history across the globe. There's Mitchell, Queensland in Australia. Mitchell County in several U.S. states. And historically, figures like George Bennett, who for 26 years shaped the BBC's voice into Africa, understood the power of narrative. In today's context, a player named Mitchell dominating a global broadcast is a subtle form of cultural export. It reinforces a specific lexicon, a connection point. When President William Ruto of Kenya engages in diplomatic talks, the shared cultural touchpoint of the NBA can serve as soft power currency. It's a non-controversial, aspirational topic that builds bridges. Furthermore, the presence of James Harden, with his iconic beard and style, represents another layer. Harden is one of the most recognizable athletes in China, a market of 1.4 billion people. His performance is monitored not just by sports fans, but by marketing executives in Shanghai and trade officials in Beijing. A strong game for Harden boosts the visibility of his Chinese sportswear partners, affecting supply chains that may stretch to factories in Vietnam or Ethiopia. This is the global ripple effect of a single basketball game. Let's examine the rebounding battle, a key factor in the Cavaliers' win. The Knicks' Mitchell Robinson grabbed 15 rebounds, just one shy of his season high. But the Cavaliers, as a team, won the overall rebounding battle 52-48. That's a +4 margin. More critically, they secured 12 offensive rebounds to the Knicks' 10, generating second-chance opportunities. In geopolitical terms, think of rebounds as resources. A nation with a strong resource base, like Robinson's 15 boards, can still lose the overall war of attrition if the opponent has more distributed strength. The Cavaliers' total team effort. This speaks to alliance building versus individual might. Now, let's bring in our third and final perspective, the sports sociologist. This lens focuses on narrative and legacy. The phrase second half surge is archetypal. It's the story of resilience, adjustment, and superior conditioning. Coach JB Bickerstaff made tactical adjustments at halftime. The team executed. This narrative of intelligent mid-course correction is one that governments and corporations love to emulate. It's the story of turning data, like a poor first-half offensive rating, into actionable strategy for a dominant second half. Donovan Mitchell, at 27 years old, is in his prime. James Harden, at 34, is the veteran maestro. Their synergy, the explosive guard and the crafty playmaker, is a model for intergenerational collaboration. In a world facing demographic shifts with a younger generation in Africa, exemplified by Kenya's median age of 20 years, and an older generation holding experience, this on-court partnership is a powerful metaphor. The veteran Harden's 20 points were efficient, requiring only 13 shot attempts. The younger Mitchell's 23 points came on 18 attempts. It's a blend of wisdom and vigor. Let's quantify that shooting efficiency. James Harden's true shooting percentage, an advanced metric that accounts for two-pointers, three-pointers, and free throws, was an excellent 65.8% for this game. Donovan Mitchell's was a solid 58.5%. For comparison, the league average is around 58%. Harden, the veteran, provided hyper-efficiency. Mitchell provided volume and explosion. Together, they created an offensive synergy that the Knicks' defense, which entered the game ranked 12th, could not contain. This demonstrates that a balanced attack, leveraging different strengths, overcomes a singular strength, which for the Knicks was their previously solid defense. The implications of this game extend into real policy and business. For instance, consider infrastructure. The game was played at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse, an arena that underwent a $185 million renovation just a few years ago. That investment, partly public and partly private, is justified by events like this: a winning team driving ticket sales, local business, and tourism. In Nairobi, similar debates rage around the renovation of Nyayo National Stadium or the construction of new facilities. The argument is the same: world-class infrastructure attracts world-class talent and events, which drive economic activity. The Cavaliers' success makes Cleveland a more attractive destination for free agents, for concerts, for conventions. It's a virtuous cycle. Furthermore, the data analytics used by the Cavaliers' front office are akin to those used by urban planners or health officials. Tracking player movement via SportView cameras is not dissimilar to tracking traffic flow or disease spread. The goal is pattern recognition and optimization. The Cavaliers identified the Knicks' defensive weaknesses in pick and roll coverage in the second half and exploited it. In public policy, identifying a bottleneck in a vaccination drive or a flaw in a public transportation schedule requires the same analytical rigor. The 109-94 scoreline is a result. But the process is what's replicable across sectors. Let's look at a critical team stat: assists. The Cavaliers recorded 28 assists on 41 made baskets. That means 68.3% of their field goals were assisted. This indicates unselfish, team-oriented basketball. The Knicks had only 22 assists on 37 baskets, a rate of 59.5%. That nearly 9% difference in assisted basket rate is the difference between a flowing offense and an isolation-heavy one. In organizational terms, it's the difference between siloed departments and collaborative, cross-functional teams. The Cavaliers' model generated higher quality shots, leading to their 48.7% field goal percentage versus the Knicks' 42.2%. In conclusion, the Cleveland Cavaliers' victory over the New York Knicks is a microcosm of 21st century competition. From the economic lens, it's about asset performance and ROI on star talent. From the geopolitical lens, it's about cultural export and the soft power of global icons. From the sociological lens, it's a narrative of adaptation, collaboration, and legacy. The numbers, the 109 points, the 28 assists, the 52 rebounds, the 58.5% true shooting are not just sports statistics. They are performance indicators in a global arena. They tell us about efficiency, teamwork, and the ability to execute under pressure. As Africa and Kenya specifically continues to rise on the global stage, engaging with these narratives, whether in sports, business, or diplomacy, is crucial. The lessons from a basketball court in Cleveland are, perhaps surprisingly, universally applicable. The surge always comes to those who are prepared, who adjust, and who play as one. For Kenya News Update today, this has been a deep dive into the numbers and narratives behind the headlines. Subscribe to Kenya News Update today for more insightful analysis.